founder of Vaibhav Studios, created iconic content like a Lamput and Vodafone Zoomies. He is also teaches animation and is an active member of TASI. I heartily welcome you. Please come on the stage. All right, our delegate is taking a time. I think he's out of this hall, so we will wait for him. And moving on to the next delegate, Mr. Govind Saho, illustrator, animator, individual filmmaker. Govind Saho is an animation filmmaker and illustrator, a graduate of NID Ahmedabad. His film Matitel won the Lotte Reiniger Award at NEC 2024 and has been showcased at International Film Festival. I heartily extend a warm welcome to you. Please come on the stage, sir. Can we have a huge round of applause, please? Moving on to the next delegate, Swati Agarwal, animation filmmaker and designer, individual filmmaker. Swati Agarwal is an animation filmmaker and assistant professor at IIT Bombay. She has won awards for her claymation films Gajar Ka Halwa and Lakshmi Aayi Hai and worked with Oscar-winning animation Adam Reyes on Thokri. Can we put a huge round of applause to welcome her on the stage? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for Ms. Swati. But before that, our delegates are ready to talk something special with you guys. So here you go for the...
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, there was some delay, so we were also hanging out outside, and we didn't know that Hamara program shuru ho gaya. So just give us a minute. I'll just set it up. And that's Swati. There she is. So I'll introduce them again later. So just give us a minute, we'll set it up. Okay, so we are set. Welcome all of you. Good afternoon once again, and sorry for the delayed start. So animation rooted in India, it's a subject that's very, very close to my heart, and I'm sure all the filmmakers that are going to share their films today. We are aware that in our country there's a huge industry, animation industry, that the majority of the industry in our country caters to service work for the American and the European markets. So in that context, it is very important, I feel, that the minority which creates indigenous stories is very, very important. And it's so beautiful because every story is very, very unique. So today, it's within the short time that we have, we'll try the best that we can. We have two filmmakers, Govinda Sao and Swati Agarwal. I will introduce them later. And before that, I'm going to share, take less than 10 minutes and very quickly share my experiences with you. So I'm Vaibhav Kumresh. I'm an animation filmmaker, and I'm the founder, creative director of Vaibhav Studios. We are a small animation studio based in Mumbai. So I'm going to start with a little reel so you know what we guys do. So I'm going to play a little reel up. You can share my screen and the audio can go up. Boys! 3 years, I would be somewhere else in the country. And thanks to that, like how a flower or a plant becomes very unique because of what it absorbs and what sunlight, what light, what surrounding it gets. The same was the case with me. Growing up in this amazing country, soaking in different stories, different cultures. So now, this is my personal view. This is not GAFX's view. Okay, so my view is we are creating amazing international quality work, but we are telling somebody else's story. And when it comes to telling our own stories for our audiences, we don't create that kind of quality. So why is that? That is something which saddens me a lot. We've been producing short form, and we are seeing that in the long form, we are not able to replicate that success. And my question is, why? Because why are we neglecting our audience? Because it's such a huge audience. The Asian Indian population is so huge. And they're all over the globe. Apna jo diaspora hai, they are everywhere. Chand pe bhi hai abhi. So when we have such a huge market, who will make films for them? So personally, local is what I know. All these years, say we are in the 22nd year of our studio now, and we've been entertaining our audiences for all these years. So we know our audience. So local is what I know. And global, if our films entertain audiences globally, it's a bonus for me. So with that intention, we started work on our feature film. It's a Hindi Desi animation feature film. And a small group of, say, 18 core people worked on it. We used to save our funds from our commercials, and we would invest in it. Why? Because nobody was willing to fund an Indian animation feature film. You are aware of that. All the seniors in the industry, you are aware how the big screen is a huge challenge. But that is what we wanted to do. So how do we do it? This small little team, it was like Return of the Jungle is the feature film that we produced. And it's a huge task for us. So the same team would do all those commercials for Nickelodeon, for Disney, for Cartoon Network, for various other advertising agencies. And wahan se paise bana ke, take that money, blow it up on the film, and make the film. So that is how we managed to finish the film. Now I have a request. I'm sure many of you may have seen the trailer of Return of the Jungle. Has anybody seen? Yeah, there's a trailer which is on YouTube. Okay, so I won't show you that because you've seen. I want to show you something that no one has seen so far. So my request is, camera, please don't record this because this is unreleased, this is confidential stuff. And whoever is recording, organizers, if you can let me know once the cameras are paused. I'm very keen to share this with you guys. It's a small thing and request to you also. And you keep the lights dim. Another one and during the COVID pandemic, an amazing thought struck him is his local story that he has brought to life. So Govind, all yours. I'm going to shut down here. Please take the mic. And is your presentation done? So after Govind, we'll call Swati. So Govind is going to screen the film, enjoy the film, and then he'll take you behind the scenes as well. So Govind, all yours.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is, thank you so much, GAFX team and Vaibhav for this opportunity to share my film and the process. This is the first time I'll be presenting my film with you guys. I'll introduce briefly about me. My name is Govinda Sao, and I am from a small town in Chhattisgarh. I did my graduation in animation film design from National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, and I worked in animation projects and animation project developments, and right now I'm working as a freelancer. So yeah, before I'll just screen the film first, and just a small note: the film is based around the rural areas of Chhattisgarh, and it's in Chhattisgarhi language. It's very similar to Hindi and a bit of Marathi. So you can you'll get some idea of the language. And yeah, I'll screen the film. Can we screen the film? And also lights. Can we dim the lights? Film. Just a minute. Can we? It's cropped. The film is cropped. Can we zoom out a bit?
ले तो बाबू पापा के देख पापा पापा ए आज तो हमार बाबू घूमेगे है ना का हाँ और नवा नवा कपड़ा भी सही से और तो आज हमार बाबू समोसा खोलेगा इसे है ना बाबू अच्छा ले तो बाबू ए आज हमार बाबू तो कोको खाई कोको ले तो बाबू ले तो हाँ बोल दे ले माँ कर दे हाँ 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 हमार बाबू सबला केवर जानते हाँ ए बाबू हाँ हाँ आत हो बाबू ले बाबू लेकर बैठ के खेलत रहा हाँ मैं आत हूँ हाँ ये सब दवाई माटी रखा भी लाने दुकान ले खाए 10 दिन के लाने हैं
ठीक हो जाए नहीं लगे जल्दी आने बाथरूम टाइम पे आते बाकी नहीं पिरा है
लेकिन डॉक्टर की से सब लेना है तो लेना चाहिए ना यदि रिजल्ट किसे पता चली
अरे ठीक हो जाए देख लेते ना 10 दिन फिर ले आन वो
हमेशा इसने कहते रहते देख ले बोल ले आन वो हो जही
अरे इतकी पैसा नहीं रहेगी सब ला 21 घा में कर डालो बाबू बर दवाई लाने हन ममता बर फ्राक लाने हन कल रोज रही से वो एक ठन ढंग का कपड़ा नहीं है ओकर तरह कल शादी में भी जाना है और एक ठे कप सेट भी तो लाने हन
तो फैक्ट्री में पैसा वैसा नहीं बढ़ाते का
तो लोग का दिक्कत है मोर फैक्ट्री जाए ले जब दिखेली ईच बात में तारा मारत रहा
अरे ये मैं तो बस पूछत रहे मुलाकात दिक्कत है
नहीं नहीं घर के सब बुताला करके सबला खुआ पिया के फैक्ट्री जातो दिन भर भुतियारी करतो ताकि घर में नून सा कम से कम चल जाए और लोन के बारे में भुला गए इसका हर हफ्ता किस्ती पटाए जातो अभी कितने साल लगी 30,000 ला पटाए
अरे हाँ हाँ जाना तो सबला आते एक दिन बाद हमन कुकरी लाने हैं और ते कचर 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 करा था
मैं कचर कचर कर रहा था कि तय करा था
अरे मैं फैक्ट्री में नहीं काम करूं जे काम ले मैं बचपन ले करा था अजले मोर बाप दादा ने सिखाई नहीं वही काम ले कर समझे।
हाँ तो मार दा हमन सब जिला और जोन ला मन लागत है तिला कर डाल।
अरे तो तोला मरना जाके मर जाना ते लाइका मल कबर बीच में लाना था जा कहीं जाके मर जा।
आओ का ता ले लान बैठो आउ डोकी ओई तोला राखी बड़ खुशी से।
अरे ते जाना तो फैक्ट्री के यार मन करा साली कुत्ती गांव में तो बड़ फेमस है।
का कहे मैं वो फैक्ट्री में बूता करे बढ़ जाता या लौंडाबाजी करे बढ़ जाता तुम्हें शर्म नहीं लगता लेखा मन के सामने इसने करता जो कमीना कहीं के।
तोला बड़ शर्म आती नहीं साली हराम चाहती।
Can we start the presentation? Yeah, thank you so much. So this was the film. So I'll start with a small presentation, a very brief presentation about the process. So this was the this film is the a part of graduation project at NID. So this was my graduation project, which is produced by Somnath Pal, He's a animator and filmmaker from India and also a visiting faculty at NID. And he's also a very close mentor of mine. So he produced the film. He funded the major part of the film under his creative initiation, Goya. So yeah, I'll talk about a brief journey of the making of Mati Dil. And this will be on behalf of the small but amazing team which I got to work with amazing artists, professionals, and sound designers and music composers. So yeah, I'll briefly go through it since we have very less time. I'll start with the research part of it. Initially, when I was in NID, I had a very a little idea about what I wanted to do in the film, like a one-liner. And my intention was to just make a 2 to 3 minute video and pass out from NID. But when I started the research and started actually working on it, I started enjoying it. And it went around like 8 minutes. So yeah. So these are some photographs. I went back home from NID, and I used to like roam around, document the space, characters, and these were some photographs from when I was traveling through local commute and observing people and their lifestyle. And I did some sketching. I talked to people. I discussed their like problems, and I also enjoyed, like I had fun with them. Like we laughed, we enjoyed, and I spent most of the time, like 2 weeks time with the people around the community. So these were some sketches, and these are some live paintings, watercolor sketches that I did as a part of research. I'll move forward with the pre-production. After like having a proper clarity, like audio-visual and textual information through research, I started like brainstorming. I started like taking notes. I used to like note down the key points when I was building characters, setting, or visual treatment. So these were very rough notes. And then I started planning out the progression, the visual progression of the story. And these were some storyboard sketches, like initial sketches that I did for the progression. These are the boards that I came up with, the final boards, which I rearranged to like see the film visually, like see the progression of the film visually. So this I have to do as an exercise to just see the film on the wall, like a whole film as a boards. Right. These are some character exploration. So for the characters, I wanted it to look like, I wanted it to give a feeling of the mature feeling and serious feeling of to the characters. And at the same time, making it raw to the culture that they belong to. And these are the final characters that I came up with. And I went ahead with a bit of production design. So this was a very basic 2D map where I marked the important elements and the places where action is to happen, and all the important areas I marked on this map. And I like choreographed the action and interaction of the characters also. Then I shifted to a bit of 3D and build this house, the house that they live in. And this helped me get a proper understanding of the space, lighting, and the character relative proportion of the elements and objects in this space. So it narrowed down a lot of like extra work. It helped me reduce a lot of extra work, and which was very helpful. Then I started putting the characters to this space. I had already, I had some clarity on the perspective and through the 3D design that I had. So I put the characters and actions on that, on the 3D layout that I had, and staged the character on the layout. And then after like after finishing the layouting part, I explored some of the visual treatments. So these are the early visual treatments. And then
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm an animation filmmaker and designer. That's what I would like to call myself still, although I'm now a professor at IDC. Yeah. So these are the three things I love doing. So I love filmmaking, I love teaching. So I'm currently teaching at IDC School of Design, IIT Bombay, and I love researching also. So in my films, as well as I'm also doing my PhD in animation. Yeah. So these are some of my previous films that I have been working on till now as my past journey. I got graduated from IDC in 2012. So before that and after that, I have been making several films. Yeah, you might find some of these films on YouTube. Yeah, but stop motion is my love. So I love every bit of it. I also worked on Tokri. So I learned a lot of little nits and picks from it, from the animator, Adam Vervas, who's an Oscar-winning animator. He came to India, he worked on this film called Tokri. So I was that time assisting him and learning all the details about stop motion. And this is one of my film. These are two of my characters who have also been patented. Yeah, I plan to make a series out of it, maybe in the future. Yeah. Then this is my teaching area. Yeah. So one of the, another very nice project which I did, which is very interesting. Maybe you have seen it. So there is a YouTube channel called Story of Indian Animation. We have interviewed around 21 Indian veteran animators. Vaibhav Kumresh is also one of the animators there. We have so I also interviewed Ram Mohan, Bhimsen Khurana. So it is very fruitful for all the filmmakers, for all the students, and all the professionals in the animation industry. These were some of the interviews that were conducted. Shaila Paralkar, if you know, she's one of the veterans of Indian animation. Then I also take workshops. I conduct workshops from all age groups, from small kids to old adults. Yeah. And my Chalisa inspiration is my own little one. So he's here today. I want to go, so I have to bring him. So this one is my inspiration. So he keeps watching. He was always watching Hanuman Chalisa on television. And I was watching with him. And I used to wonder, wow, this is such a nice thing. What if we have something in clay? So my photo is clay. So I should try something with this. Yeah. So that's how Chalisa got born. And yeah, it's recently also getting screened in Animela. And the award list has just started. I've started sending it 2 months back. And my last visit in Hampi is how how these connections were getting built. So my love with clay and my love when I saw Hampi. So something, it just emote out when I saw Hampi. It's like all the wall, the architecture on the wall, the relief work that was done on the wall was so beautiful. So I thought, what if it was animated? So from that, this idea got into my mind. So because it's a music video, we started with the music first. It's a musical animation film. So Deep Srivastav is the one who worked on the film. And I just gave him this brief, I want something which is very fun and which is very soulful. And because I need to do animation on it, it can't be more than 5.5 to 6. It will be very difficult to pull off a stop motion animation beyond that. So let's make it 5.5, 6 minutes. So he gave me a tune, the first tune which I really liked. And then we worked over it again and again. And so after like a month tweaking for almost 2-3 months, went ahead, like go and forth back. So we came out with some very nice music which you just heard. And the singer who was there earlier was actually a professional singer he found. But I said, no, I want a kid voice. But we were not able to find a kid who knows Chalisa and who knows singing. So we did several auditions, but we failed. So for that time, we recorded, okay, this professional singing is fine. So with that, we started all our animation. And even if you see the music, so some of the music is like live played. Matka we recorded live and flute we recorded live. And the rest is all electronic music. So he mixed and made this musical piece. Yeah, so then we started with researching. Now this was the very, very complicated task for us because we never realized. So there are 40 chopais and 2 major dohas in Chalisa. And the problem is, not a problem, or you can say, there is no, like Ramayana has a story. It has a proper story. But Chalisa doesn't have a story. Yeah, so everything, it's talking about the qualities of Hanuman, of the power of Hanuman, or maybe the wisdom, his friendly nature, and all those things he's talking. So we had to like break it down into things and form a narrative so we also thought, let's have transitions as a power. So the transition that is happening from one chopai to the other chopai is where we use that power of animation. Because otherwise, it's very unlinked. Every chopai is talking about some other aspect of Hanuman. So we kind of clubbed few of the chopais together and saw what was the major thing happening in those chopais. And then figured out, okay, what could be the thing. Yeah, and then also multiple depictions we tried. So this will, I think, not play. But yeah, for every, while we were doing our animatic, for every chopai, we thought कि ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं. We could have like so many different ways in which we can go. So we were trying out different trials and errors, and then we finalized one shot कि yeah, we'll go with this. So these were some of the initial explorations of the character which I did, but not very happy. Then we went with what I had. So I finally did it with clay. I left paper aside and directly tried it on clay, and then the character which is very, very simple. And the idea of that simplicity also because we had to animate it with clay live. Yeah, so in stop motion there is something you can't go back once. You can't just erase or delete a frame and then, yeah. So it's all together. So we have to make it very, very simplistic character so that we can very easily, very, very fluently animate it. So these were our trials with clay. We mixed mud. We mixed actually not mud, sand. So pebbled sand, little pebble sand into clay to have that texture. And on that sand also, then we pressed it with stone to get that proper feeling. These were from the studio when we were shooting. So we divided the entire thing into 9 major chunks. And then those major chunks, whenever the transition came, so that we can take some break and we can change that setting if we want. So everything is tabletop shot. Yeah. this was a setup. And yeah. I'll just run it through. So only one shot which you saw where the booth comes, that shot is front shot, otherwise all is top down. This is, so I have a team of 4 people who worked on this. This one is Palak. And these are the other, like Richik Methley, who did the animation, major animation. Richik was working on the background designs. That's it, thank you. If I have to, 4 minutes, can I play the making video? I have the final, or else.
As this play is, I think we are already overshot. So just a conclusion that you saw different creators, different inspirations, and different motivations to create the kind of films that they are doing. So it's very, very important that we see our own stories and our audiences get to see it. So once again, big thank you to Govinda and Swati and team up, Graphics. Thank you for this platform once again, and you can catch these people outside. They'll be there for your queries. So we've already gone beyond our time. So apologies for that. So thank you again.
Thanks to all our panelists. I request you to please come on the stage. And also I request our delegate, Mr. Mathieu Bajot, the French Institute in India, take the honor to give them a memento, please. I request all of you 3, please come on the stage. It was a great pleasure to have a great movies out of their creation. Thank you so much for wonderful presentations. Can we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? तालियों की आवाज जितना जोर से आता है उतना अच्छा लगता है. Thank you so much. All right, today we will explore the exciting opportunities and challenges within India's rapidly growing animation, visual effects, gamings, and comics sector. Our experts will share the insights on how this industry can evolve and thrive on the global stage. So our moderator is Mr. Munjal Shroff, Director and COO Graffiti.